Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Some Soothings. This is episode 7. My name is Joshua. I am a musician and glitch and sound artist. My work is generally made in collaboration with filmmakers, dancers, other musicians. But for me, a lot of the good mojo in that collaboration relies on being in the same room, sharing space, breathing the same air when we're creating things. And so that's just a little hard right now. Also, my work tends to engage with sort of heavy topics, climate catastrophe, late capital. And I think, rightfully, along with many other folks, I'm just trying to be a little overcautious about my emotional well-being, and so I'm feeling a little hesitant to entertain those bleaknesses right now. So all of this is to say that I am not really engaging in my creative practice in the ways that I might normally, and that's, it's a bummer, but also it's hard because I think that that's the best way that I move through the world. I feel best about myself. I feel most whole when I'm creating and sharing things. And so in an effort to kind of fill that space, I'm making this show. Some Soothings is, in fact, providing some soothings for me. And I hope that it is doing the same, at least a little, for you as well. Some Soothings is a 30-minute weekly live stream. We endeavor to be really tender, gentle, vulnerable, calming, a little new agey, a little sound bathy, a little ASMR-ish. We will try to be super earnest, but also hopefully have like a little bit of fun. The show is not designed for kids, but it's kid-friendly. If you have any or know any, please encourage them to join us. The show is also friendly, so if you have any friends, similarly, please let them know we're here. Invite them to join us. And it's totally cool if, for example, that friend is just a pillow stuffed inside an old button-up shirt that you've balanced a fedora on top of. Hi, Chris. In each episode, we look at a piece of contemporary art. We will have a moment of grateful reflection. We'll assess how well I'm hydrating. There'll be some live ambient music. And we'll close with a poem. I can't really engage with the chat while the show is going, but it is super encouraging, like when you put stuff in the chat. It's nice to see that there's activity out there. So I'm grateful for that, and please continue to do so. At the end of the show, I'll keep the stream going and hop in the chat and just say hello and check in and make sure that you're all well. Okay, let's look at some art. This is Summer by Joan Snyder. This is oil and graphite on canvas. It was created in 1970. Schneider found their way to this plane in 1940, and they just turned 80 last month in the middle of April. They're still painting, they're still showing. Schneider trained at Rutgers in the early 60s, and in 1971 returned back to campus to found the Mary H. Dana Women Artist Series. It's an exhibition space at Rutgers, quote, dedicated to making visible the work of emerging and established contemporary women artists. And I speak to it because it's the longest running series of this kind, championing women, female identifying artists since the early 70s. Snyder is also a founding member in 1975 of the Heresies, which is a collective, a group of feminist artists, critics, and historians who endeavored to be a voice for the struggles of women in cultural production. Snyder is a longtime New Yorker, currently splitting time between Brooklyn and Woodstock upstate. Their work has been collected like everywhere. Met, MoMA, Whitney, Guggenheim. This piece, Summer, hangs at the Art Institute in Chicago. So when we get to go back to museums, I encourage you to visit the Art Institute to see this work in person. Some are from a group of paintings that Snyder calls the stroke paintings, in which they would like grid out the canvas, and in this case using pencil, and then paint like against that grid. So just contextually, so Snyder is working in the minimalist and abstract expressionist tradition, and so there's definitely like some play with the rigidity that we might see in like a Bryce Marden or a Judd. So that grid is there, the grid is presented, Snyder gives us the grid, but then like totally resists it in a way that feels really like playful, fun, and pleasurable. So it's resisting maybe some of the conceits of early minimalism, but in a way that's not confrontational. It's just really like lovely and pleasurable. There's a softness about this work that I really adore. And the colors are just so, and I do recommend when you can seeing this in person, the colors are just like so lush and so thick. It's like you can almost taste them. Except they don't taste like 50-year-old paint. They taste like something really delicious. Okay, let's go. I should go stick to my notes here. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. The smearing. I love the smearing. How it suggests gravity or reveals like the process of gravity. Like no matter the grids we might construct, there's this just ever-present like pull into the earth. It's really just a lovely conceit at the heart of the piece. I love the ease of it. I love that it just is really, we're just having a mellow. We're just having a summer mellow with Joan Snyder over here. Snyder came late to their practice, which is, I think, kind of interesting. They were getting, I think, like a pretty straightforward humanities degree, maybe sociology. And then I believe in their third year took like a painting 101 class, and that changed everything. It set them on this new course for the rest of their life, becoming this really renowned painter and voice for female artists. Snyder says, quote, "When I started painting, it was like I was speaking for the first time," which I think is just a lovely image and lovely idea. May we all find that thing in our lives that feels that way for ourselves. Per usual, there's more information, images, bits of info about Joan Snyder in the panel down below. Regular viewers will recall that I am trying to be more mindful of my hydration. Under self-isolation, it seems important to be sure to be taking care of oneself. And so one of the ways that I'm doing that is trying to track my liquid intake. This week I have good news. I have consumed 24.5 liters of liquids, and so this is now 2 weeks in a row that we're on a upward trajectory here. So I'm feeling really proud of myself, and I'm sure that you've noticed that I'm looking fresher, so I thank you for noticing that. I appreciate that. Up next we have a new segment on the show called Watching Plants Grow While Listening to Disco. If you are anything like me, you may feel overwhelmed by the sheer quantity of beautiful time-lapse photography of plants growing that's available like at a moment's notice because of the World Wide Web on the internet. So I thought that I would do us both a favor and curate a selection of really great plant growing videos, and we can enjoy that while we listen to a French disco classic. This is a French trio called Toulouse, and their song C'est toujours comme ça l'amour. I just had this really strong impetus to say hit it before I push this button, so I'm just going to do that. Hit it.
toujours que tu m'aimes, qu'il n'y a que moi dans ta vie. Aujourd'hui ça me fait bien rire, je ne ressens plus rien pour toi. Je n'ai plus confiance en toi, tu m'as trop souvent trompé. Je n'ai plus besoin de ça, maintenant ma vie va changer.
Well, I could like totally do that all night. I could totally just watch plants grow and listen to this. Maybe next week we'll do a longer segment of plants and disco. Also, that second to last hugging cactus, I feel a real kinship to hugging cactus, having been in self-isolation for 2.5 months. This is the surprisingly healing candlestick. It may look like a regular candlestick, but in fact it has, at least for me, sort of healing qualities. When I'm feeling really bummed out by self-isolation and quarantine, or just kind of the state of things, when my edges are beginning to fray, I will ding this candlestick and it will inspire some calm in me. And I hope that it provides some of that same kind of mellowing effect for you. So here, I want to play it now, or ding it, and we can take a breath together. That is it's just an impressive sound coming out of a janky old candlestick. Let's do some gratitude now. I want to close my eyes for 10 seconds and think about something that I'm feeling thankful for. I would encourage you to do the same. Pause, lean into a brief moment of stillness, and think about what you might be grateful for. If I'm comfortable sharing what I'm grateful for, I will do so. If not, I won't. I will encourage you to do the same. If in your moment of quietude you do consider something that you are feeling thankful for, please add it to the chat. We're making a really big list of things that we're grateful for in the panels down below. So yeah, please add it to the chat. Ready? I'm closing my eyes now. This is like the most me gratitude that I just thought of, and it's like slightly embarrassing even. So I'm feeling really grateful for a cursory training in philosophy and theology. So I was a philosophy and world religions minor in undergrad, so I took like a half dozen classes in metaphysics, Buddhism, Marxism, ethics, and now, even like 20 years on, I still like rely on things that I learned in that time when I'm engaging with the news, or when I'm doing some like self-introspection. So I think, I'm not going to belabor this, because it's a really embarrassing thing to be grateful for. But yeah, a cursory training in philosophy and theology is what I'm feeling grateful for. What do we got next? Oh, thank goodness, Kate is going to put this show back on course. Next up, Kate Adams has an update on the weather in Alaska. I'm going to say hit it again. Hit it.
Hello, Sun Soothings. I am coming to you today from the Kuskalana Bridge, 238 feet above this gorge, and it is about 65 degrees, and it is 8:45 or 9 o'clock. We will have sunlight for 3 or 4 more hours tonight.
Wow, that is really something. Thank you, Kate. So grateful for you as a person, but also so grateful for your weather reports and sharing kind of the adventures that you're on right now. Let's play a little music. What do we got? Great. I think we'll do maybe like 6 or 7 minutes of some ambient music. And put my cans on and get it going here. All right. Thanks for listening. Modern Letters lost a massive voice about 2 weeks ago. Eavan Boland is a huge figure in 20th century poetry. Renowned educator, they were head of Stanford's creative writing department for the past 25 years, and they just recently passed away at the age of 75. Had a stroke, but was surrounded by family in Dublin. Eavan Boland, just brilliant stuff. I'm going to read Mountain Time in honor, or in memoriam, I guess. So this is Mountain Time. Time is shadowless there. Mornings reoccur only as enchantments, only as time for her to watch berries ripen by on the morning ash. For him, a short distance from her, to catch fish. Afterwards, darkness will be only what is left of a mouth after kissing, or a hand laced in a hand. A branch, a river, will be all that is lost of words as they turn to silences and then to sleep. Yet when they leave the mountain, what he will remember is the rowan tree, that blemish, that scarlet. She will think only of the arc of the salmon after sudden capture, its glitter, a larceny of daylight on slate. Whew, dang it all. A larceny of daylight on slate. Eavan Boland, link to some info down below. Thanks for tuning in, gang. It's really a pleasure doing this, and I'm grateful for your attention and generous gift of your time. Tonight's intro music, and here it comes, right? Yeah, and this outro music has been Soft Meadow by Greenhouse. They have this brilliant record called 6 Songs for Invisible Gardens. It's so good. All the Greenhouse stuff is brilliant. A link to all their music is in the panel down below. Cool. I'm going to turn the camera off now. I'll keep the stream open and come and say hi in the chat for a split second, and then we can go on the rest of our nights. Thanks, buddies. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Love ya. Bye.